Welcome to the Christian Success Show, the show that helps you achieve more success in every area of your life. I'm your host, Wes Young. Thank you for joining me today. The Christian Success Show is brought to you by Christian-Success.com. Visit Christian-Success.com to join the community and check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve big success in specific areas of your life. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-Success.com/coach. Now, let's get started with today's show. Today's show is about the 70-10-10-10 system. And I've read about systems like this and similar systems in many places, and I honestly don't know who came up with it first. Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, is the person that I'm most familiar with that has it in a book of his, so I'm going to give him credit. But it's really a kind of basic system that people can use to help them financially and to save money and to invest money and to grow their assets and their wealth over time, and it works really, really well. So I wanted to share it with you, and like I said, Jim Rohn, R-O-H-N, is the first person that I know of that brought this out, but it's really not that much different than a lot of savings plans and investment type plans. This is a great system that lets you build assets while you're working. Most people are working in a job. Most people aren't entrepreneurs and haven't started a business or a side business and aren't working for themselves. And this can work just as well for those people and for the people that haven't. That if you're working a regular job, you can start using this system today, and it can help you start building your assets and your investments and transitioning. So eventually, hopefully you can get to the point where you don't have to work in your current job unless you choose to, and you can do something that makes more money or you enjoy doing more in the future. So basically, this is how this system works. You have 100% of your income, and you divide it up into 70% and then 10%, 10%, and 10%. The first step is to learn and make adjustments so you're living on 70% of the money you have coming in. Now, right now, that might seem like it's impossible. It might seem like you can't make ends meet when you're using 100% of your income. But almost all of us have something or some things we're doing that we could reduce our expenses or cut down on what we're spending. If you're going out to eat 2 or 3 times a week, stop going out to eat, or only go out to eat once a week, and use the rest of that money to do some of these other things. So basically, you learn and make adjustments so you're living on 70% of the money you have coming in. You give 10% of it away. And in the Bible, there are instructions about tithing and things like that, and a lot of people believe you have to tithe 10%. And I'll leave your judgment up to you. You can read in the Bible and see what you think it says, because it says one thing in the Old Testament, and then in the New Testament there's some things that are a little bit different. Nonetheless, it's important that we give from our excess to other people or things that need it worse than we do. And when I'm talking about giving away 10%, I'm not even saying you need to give 10% to your church. You can give a percentage to your church, but you can also do other good things with part of your money. You don't have to give 10% to the church. You can give 5% to the church and 5% elsewhere to charities or individual causes that you feel are important. And I want to talk a little bit more about giving. Most people that haven't acquired wealth and haven't reached the goals and the successes that they want yet think that if they give something away, it's going to make it harder for them to reach their goals. But the truth is, once you learn how money works and moves around, and you work on accumulating wealth and use a system like this, you'll learn that by giving away 10%, you actually increase over time. I realize that's hard to believe, but if you'll just give this a try, you're going to eventually see that giving is almost as important as receiving, because something magical happens. And I base this back on my beliefs from the Bible, but even if you're not a believer in the Bible and not a Christian, this still works. I know plenty of people that aren't practicing Christians that do use this system or something like it, where they give away a percentage of their income, and they all swear that it works, that it helps them achieve more wealth over time. So you're going to live on 70%, and you're going to give away 10%. And another 10% you're going to invest. You're going to invest in things that return interest, like a savings account or CDs, or the stock market, or mutual funds. You're going to invest this 10% for growth. You're going to put it in places that should be safe to put it, but that will also help build interest on this money. And you're not going to use this money for anything except for investments to grow your income. And if you can invest enough money over time, you can start making enough interest off your money that you can reduce how much you work, or be more picky or choosy about the work that you do. So that leaves 10%. And what Jim Rohn recommends using the last 10% for is, he calls it commerce, and I call it building assets. I did a show about assets, and you should look that up if you're interested in acquiring more wealth, because the wealthy acquire and build assets, and that's what you use this last 10% for. In commerce, and assets can be any type of thing. Maybe you use it to start a side business, and you can use it to keep growing that side business until it makes more and more money. You can buy and improve things and then sell them. You can buy things at wholesale and sell them at retail. You can use this to help you create or invent things. This final 10% is all about investing in something that can give you a higher return as a type of business or commerce. As your income goes up, when you're using this system, it increases the amount of money you can spend in the 70%, but it also increases the amount you invest and increases how much you can build assets. And the more money you make over time, no matter where the money's coming from, lets you invest more in interest-bearing assets and business or commerce type assets. And the goal is to keep building these other things, your investments and your assets, until you can shift these percentages. Once you reach a certain point, maybe you can live on 50% of the money you have coming in. You still give away 10%, but now you're investing 20% and you're using 20% to build more assets. Or you stay at 10% building more assets and you're investing 30%. And if you keep doing this and are successful enough about increasing your income from your assets and your investments, maybe you can eventually get to the point where you're living on 10% of the money you have coming in. You're giving away 10%, and you're investing 40% in investment income and another 40% in building your assets and through business and commerce. This is a system for saving money and building assets at the same time. And this is how you transition from working in what you're doing now to having wealth and freedom. Do you have a system you're using now? Most people don't have a system of any sort. And this is the type of system you can put in place and start becoming more successful immediately. Systems are very important for any type of success you want to achieve, whether it be in the area of wealth or in another area of your life. When you put a system in place that's an effective system, all you have to do is follow the system. Now, let's say that it truly is impossible for you to live on 70% of your income now. First, I want you to take a look at everything you're spending money on now and try to eliminate as much as you can that you don't have to spend money on. But even if you can't live on 70% now, start where you can. Start by reducing it to 90%. Live on 90% of what you're making now. Invest 2 or 3%. And invest 2 or 3 more percent in building assets and give away 2 or 3%. And then as you adjust and you make more money, don't raise how much you spend. And as you make more money, either through your investments or a raise where you work, or by building assets like a side business that starts bringing some money in, work from 90% to the 70-10-10-10. You don't have to start there immediately if you absolutely can't afford to, but you have to get started somewhere, and you need to work towards living on 70% of your income. Focus on value when you're talking about building assets and commerce. Offer value or add value to something or create value. Make yourself more valuable. Maybe at first you need to invest in the asset of knowledge and learnings and skills, so you improve your knowledge and skills so you become more valuable. When you focus on adding value, you're building assets through whether your mind or through commerce. So that's how you use the 70-10-10-10 system, and I think you should get started right away because it's a very powerful system that can help you reach all of your financial goals. I want to sincerely thank you for joining me today. I know that you have plenty of options on how you spend your time, and it's an honor you're letting me help you achieve more success in your life. God bless you. Don't forget to check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve more success in specific areas of your life at Christian-success.com. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-success.com/coach. Have a blessed day.